You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Michael Chiesa takes on Max Griffin this weekend at UFC 310 on the undercard. And I'm going to go with Max Griffin in this one. This is a no-brainer for me. Michael Chiesa is an awful fighter. Shouldn't be fighting in a cage for a living. Absolutely awful. He's a one-trick pony. If he can't get the fight to the ground, he kind of just crumbles. I feel like he's fighting like once every year just to kind of hold on to this UFC commentating gig. Last fight against Tony Ferguson, shying away from the punches of old man Tony Ferguson, who, you know, he's got nothing on him, nothing left in the tank on that guy. Ended up getting the Darce choke. Felt like it was kind of a gimme fight. The UFC felt bad for the guy. You know, he's on the UFC commentating desk. Like, we got to get him at least a win. So one win in the last almost 5 years, I think it is. His one win was Tony Ferguson. Fights very rarely. I think this will be his 5th fight in 5 years. 6th fight in 5 years. So I just feel like he's scared to death to be in the cage. He's afraid to get hit. He's afraid to throw punches. Afraid to engage with somebody in an actual fist fight. Fight before that against Kevin Holland, you could tell he wanted nothing to do with Kevin Holland on the feet, and I don't blame him, but, you know, you're getting paid to fight in a cage. Wouldn't even engage. Kevin Holland would barely feint, barely throw a punch, and, you know, he was diving for cover. Couldn't get a takedown against Kevin Holland, who's notoriously struggled with his wrestling defense. He's a great jiu-jitsu fighter, black belt under Travis Lutter, but he's always struggled with being able to implement that in the UFC and just not get taken down and out-grappled, essentially. But he had hands locked against Kevin Holland, had him elevated up against the cage, still couldn't get him down. And after that point, you just kind of see him crumble. He kind of knew, well, if I can't get this fight to the ground, I'm shit out of luck in this one. So panic shot a takedown, ended up getting Darce by Kevin Holland in the first round. So I think if he can't get down Kevin Holland, he's probably not going to get down Max Griffin either. Max Griffin, I think, has better takedown defense than Kevin Holland. A little bit bigger, a little shorter, a little thicker. Max Griffin did pretty well against Jeremiah Wells in his last fight in defending takedowns. He did get taken down, but he got back up. He got his own takedown. So it's good to see that he's, you know, developing that wrestling. He's kind of struggled in that in the past, but before that, he lost to Michael Morales, beat Tim Means, lost to Neil Magny, beat Carlos Condit. So he's been fighting good competition. You know, Jeremiah Wells, Michael Morales, these are you know, top level welterweights in the UFC. Whereas you look at Michael Chiesa, anytime he fights a top level welterweight, he's pretty much getting dominated. Kevin Holland, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque. He did beat Neil Magny, but before that, lost to Rafael dos Anjos, who should be fighting at lightweight. Diego Sanchez, former lightweight. I just think Michael Chiesa is going to struggle to get Max Griffin to the ground. I think he might get him to the ground, maybe win a round or so, but I see Max Griffin keeping this on the feet and just exposing Michael Chiesa and exposing his lack of striking. So just blows my mind that Michael Chiesa is now 36, been in the UFC for years. Good enough to be on the commentator desk, but the dude has 0 striking. And at this point, 36 years old, I don't think we're going to see huge wrinkles or developments in that department. So I just think Max Griffin's going to be the better guy on the night. Max Griffin's also 39, but doesn't look like he's 39, not fighting like he's 39. I just think that he's going to keep it on the feet, beat up Michael Chiesa, kind of embarrass him, and maybe send Michael Chiesa packing out of the UFC in this one. I don't see Michael Chiesa getting to the ground and subbing him. I think Max Griffin's just too defensively sound, too big. I just don't see him getting subbed by Michael Chiesa or held on the ground, so to speak. So I'm going to go with Max Griffin in this one, beating Michael Chiesa. I wouldn't be surprised if he TKOs him on the feet. I don't think he'll sub him, but I wouldn't be shocked if he just batters him on the feet because Chiesa can't get takedowns and TKOs him. But more than likely, I think Max Griffin wins this one by decision. Thanks, guys.